Okay, hello. This is Joe Corneli, and I'm blue for some reason. I think it's the atmospheric pressure around here or something.
You brought back the color of the Mediterranean.
Yeah, I must have jumped into that too quickly. From left to right, I'm joined by Michelle. That's Michel, spelled
Yep.
Janus here, but slightly similar. I believe he's calling from someplace in the Boston area. A new visitor. Hello.
Hello.
Paula from Mexico City and surrounding regions. Charlotte also from the Boston area, and she's got her lower thirds on. So if anyone else wants to follow suit, you can present yourself in a professional manner, but you don't always have to. We're not always super professional around here, but we try. Anyway, so let's see what's going on. Yesterday we had a great Sunday meeting between Charlie, Charlotte, and myself to work on the handbook, and that felt really good. We made progress. I saw forms getting filled in, covers getting uploaded, manuscripts getting uploaded, all that stuff looked really good, and I know Charlie's at this point basically mostly waiting on me about slightly revised manuscripts. So I think maybe today we could take a quick look at the manuscript and
Do we want to go through and do a kind of a review of the content, or?
Yeah, I think that during the whole week, if people have time to just read something or like give a final word on something, that would be great. I'm probably most concerned about the introduction because that's quite new, and it's going to be people's first impression. Hi, Charlie. We were just talking about yesterday's meeting and stuff, and you probably know everyone here. Yeah, so today also is the final. No, tomorrow is the final delayed revised deadline about the pattern paper. So if anyone has any burning changes, I thought I might put in one reference to my PhD thesis, but.
Do you want me to put any of that IPNI stuff in?
I think we could, if it was really ready, we could. If you want to go around with it, we could. We could at least mention that we're working on it. I think in the scrapbook. Well, why don't we do that? We'll mention it in the scrapbook as a summary. So maybe you could, if you could sum up, send me a really short summary rather than the whole final. But yeah, so that Sunday meeting was good, and yeah, I think today, since we have Michelle here as a guest, we should ask him about a bit more about what he does, because we wanted to get the flavor for a usual weekly meeting. And anyone else with any news or updates or questions should share them now. I'll think about it. I've had so much concentration on introducing it, I've forgotten my own local news. So anyone want to jump in with a news item? Otherwise, we can. Yeah, Charlie, maybe.
Paula, did you want to talk about the Wikimedia Argentina thing?
Yeah, we have been invited to write a chapter or to translate a chapter from the Peeragogy book, or maybe not a chapter but an article or whatever we want to be published at. They have a site. It's a site called Educar. It's a very important site, very visible. So they want us to publish something about pedagogy there. We have to decide what. And we were talking with Charlie about what could be the best option, because it's a very public site. So I would like to publish, to take advantage of that visibility and to publish really something really for us important to people, for people to know about pedagogy. So we need help about making the decision about what would be the best option to publish in Spanish about the project.
So we could start with the chapter you already translated. It's like the short summary. Remember the one you did for Spain?
But that is about 30+ pages. That's a little bit
too heavy. So we want something kind of like one of the DML blog posts or something like that.
Kind of a little bit shorter, but maybe shorter.
Do we want the chapter summaries?
That's a good suggestion. I was thinking like a version 4 overview of like what are our plans for the next one, but maybe a few chapter summaries saying here's some stuff we've achieved, and a few work summaries to say where we're going could kind of have a nice one foot.
Well, how familiar with us or the project are they? And you know, if they aren't, where we're going might not make as much sense as a summary.
I would say that these can be like our presentation in the Spanish-speaking world, because this project is based in Argentina, and they have been done a lot of work with education and technology, but nobody knows about pedagogy around there. Or I would say in Latin America, it's not very well known. Besides a couple of people that I know, or a bunch of people, maybe 10 professors that I really know that are working or are aware of our project. I don't think.
Paolo, you're a rock star.
Yeah.
Knows about you and what you're up to, no? Oh.
So here's a thought. And by the way, hi Maria, welcome back to our Hangout series. It's great to have you again. We've got Michelle masquerading as Janice, but anyway, we'd like to know more about you and what's going on. And you had a great idea last time we talked about kind of, you know, picking out some problems to work on. So I'm wondering if we could even work that into the summary. You know, pick one challenge problem. But I had another brainstorm, which was that next week, this same time slot, Howard wants to do an interview with us. So like, we have to get ready for that. And maybe getting ready for that, maybe we could just translate that interview into Spanish. You know, like that would be kind of interesting because we get many people's voices, similar to the one you did with Dorothea and Lisa. But it could be with more of us, maybe, and you know, so that's a possibility. Then we don't even have to write it. We can just speak naturally, but of course we have to also think about what we're going to say next week for the interview. So that's one possibility.
What do you think they would respond best to, Paula, down there? The intro overview type thing, or does it matter?
Well, I don't know. Well, I really was thinking about what is the best thing we can share about our project that can be useful for teachers, and also give a general overview of what we are doing or what we have been done for the last 3 years. So I'm not sure about what of the things that we have written or published is the best option of all.
Yeah. Well, to be useful, we kind of want like a Peeragogy in 5 minutes, right? So like, here's all of Peeragogy in 5 minutes, because they're not going to have too much time to read it. And if we want it to be useful, what do you do? So I think it's a good question. It's a good opportunity. There's that video Lisa made. Lisa's really good at making those kinds of videos.
Yeah, and I was just thinking now, there's also the Peeragogy in Action lesson plan. In that, we got it in that like book or whatever.
Yeah.
Open book.
Yeah.
You know that, Paula, the lesson plan.
Yeah, I remember.
That could work with, especially with. It would be interesting to kind of revise it too. I mean, maybe that's a good opportunity for us because that's a couple years old now. So.
Yeah, I think that's good. That's a good point.
If I may just give us an idea, since I've just become involved in the project very recently, so I got a sort of fresh approach. I think something that might be a good idea to introduce to new people is to start maybe with a case study or with something based like in real life, and then introduce the concept, because the concept of peeragogy without having some sort of factual background to say, okay, this is what we have done, it may be a little bit vague if you just read a sort of resume of what are the main ideas. If you can just anchor it into something, and then
Yeah.
it might get people engaged from the start.
Yeah, good comment. My mom said something really similar when she looked at the book. She was like, "Yeah, this is interesting, but I want more concrete examples." So, yeah, the Wikipedia one that we just worked on with the from the
Mhm.
from the pattern paper. Yeah, that would be nice. If we had room, we could do the SWOT too, because that was cool. That was also already a context where it was like classroom. So if the audience is teachers, they'll recognize themselves in that story quite well.
How about the? I mean, is the chapter summaries too long for this purpose? No, I don't think so. And then you could put in some of Amanda's illustrations and perhaps a video.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's more ideas probably than we could conceivably ever use, but I like it. I'm getting excited
Oh.
by the opportunity. So. Yeah,
Okay,
thanks
well,
about the case study.
but these are good ideas. Peeragogy in 5 minutes, Peeragogy, the lesson plan, Lisa's videos, the case study, maybe the Wikipedia case, and Amanda's illustrations. I think that if we can put everything together.
Yeah, we could also
And
give them
then,
something like you've been asking for, something they can download as well. So we could have a blog post and then like, hey, here's a little PDF, like a micro handbook, like even something like you print it out and you fold it in half, like you get this little tiny handbook that would be something we could take away with them. That could be kind of fun.
Like
yeah, totally.
Peeragogy 101 sort of booklet, and then you could use that base to just translate into whatever language you want to get into the market, into something ready and publishable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And well, there's also, we talked about the workbook a little bit too. But I stalled that out. But that might be interesting for you to look at, coming new. But also, Paul, I just emailed you an article that I wrote for like an ESL. It wasn't a journal, it was like a blog or whatever, but about how I used the lesson plan in my ESL classes. So that might be useful too. I use the Peeragogy lesson plan with my ESL students. But yeah, yes, lots of stuff.
Okay.
Cool.
I will read it.
So,
If you have time.
I started a document if you want to put your ideas on there. I'm transferring a few.
yeah, thanks. This chat is definitely rich. So, like, yeah, let's not lose these because I think this is a good new outline for like.
I'm transferring most of them to the thing.
But we have also a couple new people here. One who already had a really great idea. And Maria, no pressure to have great ideas, but how are you doing? What's going on, and what brings you back into our lives today? Tell us about things. What's the update since we last spoke?
Well, I know my participation is peripheral so far, so I want to keep trying to understand pedagogy better and to see if I can help it and if it can help me. I think the value alignment with what I'm trying to do in my little niche is very strong. So this week I am actually redesigning. We've been running MOOC courses since before it was a word, I think. Yeah, I was just reminiscing of how I started the MOOC article on Wikipedia actually back then. But yeah, you can go scroll it and that's my name on it. But it's not the model I can use anymore. But I feel it's not participatory enough. So this last couple of weeks and this last year really, we've been experimenting with, well, I want 100% participation, darn it. I don't want any lurkers whatsoever anywhere. And yet people have to be able to watch it to check it out before they participate. So that's my adventure this week. We designed a course. Well, that's not a course, that's like a circle based on live action role-play game model. And we're going to try it very soon and see what happens. With different roles for different people, small group. active people. We'll try it with very like-minded people first, and then see if we can scale up.
Cool. That sounds fun, inherently fun. So yes.
If anything, we'll have fun. I don't know if scaling up all other things will happen, but fun it will be.
Can you share a link with us about that? Is that online or just in person or no?
It will be online, and once I have, I will capture things and I will share. I don't have anything to share yet about it, but I will share once I have it. So.
Okay. I think one thing that we could definitely do is we are often up for being beta testers for interesting ideas. So if you ever want to try an exercise or say like devote a hangout. You'd have a whole hour, and we could try it for an hour, and then you could have a little pilot study with us as complete newcomers to that world and that way of thinking about things. It's a sincere offer. So.
Excellent. I will definitely consider this offer. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll do Hive editing on it.
Yeah, that's also So the Doug is not here. Oh wait, someone else is here. Laura. Laura, hello. Welcome.
Unmute yourself, Laura, and tell us a little bit about yourself. You may have checked in on the event page, I think. Yeah, Laura Richie. If I can beat you to your profile on Google+, I'll tell you. You need to unmute.
Yeah, she's there, but
I'll mute on my mic so I don't. No, interrupting is where we're at.
I didn't want to interrupt.
It's all right. Chichester.
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 Hi. I did.
Did you just wander by and find us, or did you search?
Oh no, I've been watching for a long time.
Oh my gosh!
So I've been watching. I know Howard remotely for. Did I unmute?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm okay. Okay.
You're good.
Okay, so I know how. Oh, I'm hearing myself playing back.
You're probably playing the Hangout in another window, so.
You're right, I am. Yeah. So I better shut that. There, if I shut that. Okay. I'm a musician, and I'm trying very hard to run an open music course, dipping in, and it's a field where people don't work with each other, even though we play with each other all the time. And so I've done big reaching out projects, and the most successful things have been interdisciplinary collaborations. And I want to do more and share things. So I've worked. David Preston wrote a chapter in the Peeragogy book. I did a big project with him last May, and Jonathan Worth, who runs Phonar, he and I collaborated and did his last version of Phonar revolved around a piece of music that I played. So his students were doing Phonar for the ears.
I've been trying to get a hold of David Preston for about 2 years now.
I'll pass on a message.
Please tell him to stop by.
So is in UK? Are you in the UK? Or?
I'm in the UK. I'm on the south coast, straight south from London.
I'm straight north of London. I'm in Bedfordshire. So.
Are you? Oh.
Yeah, someday we can have a live in London meeting. My neighbors are also well, one of them is a musician, and I can vouch for her. Playing with other people, she does that professionally. That's for sure. I heard that. We're missing one viola player though for a string quartet. So otherwise we'd be having village string quartet. So I'm recruiting violists for Harlington, Bedfordshire. It's a small village, about 2,000 people. So if you know
anyone. Yeah, maybe I can read a viola part one day. I'm a cellist.
She's a cellist too. So, well, that's the other thought is we don't need a traditional string quartet. We could just, what's the one where they play metal on cellos?
There are a few.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, cool. Well, I don't often talk to people living in the UK, so that's exciting for me.
We had a music jam.
I don't know talk on the Hangouts.
We had a Peeragogy music jam one time. We just played YouTube songs that we liked. Joe came up with some pretty weird ones.
Did we? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that was like too long ago. That was like
That was 2 years ago, I think.
yeah, we should do it more often.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Michelle without the Jose. Yeah, Michelle, you no doubt speak French. Do you also speak Spanish with your name Jose, or is that that just?
Well, I do have some family in South California, San Jose del Cabo. I can understand some Spanish if I read it or if I hear it, but speaking or writing it's not really one of my fortes.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. We've just sometimes been talking about starting up a Spanish language, but we keep talking about it so far haven't done it.
Well, Karen wasn't able to come, but she's one of the people that would like to do it with Julia Echevarria in Spain and Paula.
Oh, geez, you're doing good with the Echevarria, so that's
Julia Echevarria.
That was really good. There's also, also some people we met at the Wikimania that would be down to do a Spanish hangout every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if we do this Argentina thing and get a whole lot of publicity, we'll be big in Argentina somehow.
Huge in Argentina. It's always been a gold mine. Real quick before I forget, Laura, you're looking for the open music course? Did you look at that?
No, I run one.
Oh, you run one? Do you do the play with music?
No, but I'll write that down.
That's it's like NYU, Steinhardt, and PWU.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. You might have already. I can't see the chat. I don't know if you already put your link in the chat, but
No,
I think I'll get. Yeah, if we can see your link, that'd be awesome. I'll get the link for you. Pretty sure it's playwiththemusic.org, but.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put a link. I think nyumusic.org, but I'm not sure.
Cool. My sister went to NYU. So.
The one I'm talking about is playwithyourmusic.org.
Play with.
Okay.
Wow. So we've got this is like the most new people we've had in one meeting. Okay, Maria, you've been to one of the ones, so technically not completely new, but like, welcome newcomers. That's so cool.
Thank you.
So Michel is a lawyer and teacher of law and he's from Swiss Federation, but he's living in Boston.
Confederacio Helvetica.
For 1 year.
So we've got a very interdisciplinary group as well. We've got law, music, and mathematics, plus us, who by working together for 2 or 3 years, we've lost all discipline. All disciplines, but okay. So are you affiliated with anyone doing your course, Laura? Or are you just doing it?
Oh yeah, no, I'm permanent at the University of Chichester, and I wrote a degree in instrumental and vocal teaching, so how to be a private teacher. But this was just it was a funny story behind how it came about. In doing that, lots of when you teach music lessons, you basically make a curriculum for everyone, but few people learn how to make a curriculum when they're 20, and so I made a course about it. And also, those sort of resources don't really exist for instruments. Everyone does it their own way. So I thought one of the best ways to figure out how to do it would be to reach out. That's a method, the reason behind it.
How long has it been going on, and what's the response?
Last year was the first year. I've self-hosted it. So it's because it was a departure from anything the university had done. So I just self-hosted it. So it's only been the people who tapped into it, not too many. I mean, a good response from the people who've looked at it. Last year, 1,000 people looked at it, which I was really pleased with. But I'd love to reach people who do stuff, get people more involved.
Yeah, so I see here there's a video on the front page. Do you have like recordings from this class as an output? Like what's the output? I mean, obviously people learn some music, but like what kind of outcomes are you aiming to create?
Well, they don't really learn music. They they explore the ideas. They're looking at all the different components around music making and learning. And so somebody, if you already know about string quartets and you play something as an amateur, you might think, how do I do this? And the ideas they're creative makes that would be good for people to explore, anyone to explore, but also teachers to do, and they are interactive. So this week I asked the students to make a soundscape. So yesterday I went out with my phone and recorded various different things, and they have to guess what it is. And so that's not specifically about music, but it's about listening and how do we hear things. And then we take it back to the instrument. So it's a bit of a funny one. It's not a specific, I'm going to learn how to do 18th century counterpoint, or I'm going to learn how to read this clef.
It's a little bit like drawing from the whatever side of the brain, but for music. You know that book, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember which side of the brain. I don't draw enough to know which side of the brain I use regularly, but the one that gets you to use the other side. I think the right side. Cool. Yeah, I have another colleague in Greece who's like a musicologist who studies like improv and stuff, and so she's always getting her students to do these weird exercises in class. Like she's really into visual scores, so she'd give you something that's like a visual score that doesn't have a fixed interpretation, then she asks them to interpret that. But it's all a big hoax because her objective is to study how they interpret it and study them as like social agents. So
That's fun.
So
there are people that like me that just want to learn how to play the guitar for the first time in their life.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've hooked up students with people like that as well. So I mean, maybe I should put a call out.
Well, I just when I run a coffee house concert series in my town here near Boston, and the guy that played here he gives lessons on Skype. So I was just thinking about it. I think it would expand my brain in that direction.
Yeah. So the reason I was thinking about recording this is Charlie. I don't know, Charlie, you're still doing that, running like these soirees, the poetry nights and stuff like that. And I was telling him about my colleague in Greece, and I was just thinking it'd be really cool to like do music that you would never ever hear otherwise. So probably like the recording you made with your cell phone would not get played, often. So like, Charlie's DJ could play it, maybe mixing it with something a little bit more listenable. I don't know.
Yeah, he's DJ. He can definitely do. He got new programs so he can do like sample really anything and scratch it. You can take like a voice message, like a voicemail message, and scratch it on his disc. But yeah. So I haven't done one of those in about a year now because I moved from a big place to a studio. I'm trying to find something. So that'd be cool to definitely do something. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm happy to debut any music or give music to DJs to screw around with. That'd be really cool.
Wow, apparently I can't take photos of mobile participants.
It's probably because you could get something that would violate their...
Oh, you did? Somebody did?
Yeah, I did it, but it was just of this thing. Okay, now, somebody say something. It's Princess Leia!
Cool. So that sounds really nice. I think. And is there? So you said it's. No, I've got you confused with Maria, who's right next to you. But you got to go. No, you don't have to go.
I don't have to go. I'm late. I didn't have to go.
Charlie's
I was late. Somebody else left. Charlie left.
Yeah, he's going. My question was, Maria was talking about her events are all in person. This open course thing, is that in person? I see it's clearly got an online presence, but is there an in-person aspect to that?
There's an in-person aspect as well. So I have a very small class. This year there are only there are 7, I think, in the class, and then we're going to start doing Hangouts. Our first one is this Wednesday, and that's so yeah, in person and online.
Are you using Google Hangouts?
Yeah.
Cool. So some of us could drop by, perhaps, or at least watch it on YouTube.
Absolutely.
That would be fair play, I suppose.
Yeah.
Nice. And Maria, you're saying your event is in person but broadcast online as well?
No, it's
Listen to that.
online, but live.
Okay.
The distinction I'm making with previous design is kind of asynchronous participation where people may or may not respond to a prompt versus something live in real time like we are having now. And that's my question: how do you scale it up to, a large group of people? But
Yeah.
that's I think a lot of what we call courses is really people. Let's all get together and somebody will broadcast to us. It's more like a movie theater.
Yeah.
A lot of people can get in there, but it's not a participatory event as such. Or it's not even like a movie theater. It's like broadcast. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to.
So if you want a technology aspect that might help with it, we've been in touch with someone at the MIT Media Lab named Shrishti, and she's the whatever Uber DJ of OnHangouts. So she makes this thing called OnHangouts, which is really similar to regular Hangout. In fact, it has lots of regular Hangouts stuck together, and they sort of have a lobby, and they share one chat or something like that. So what you could do is you could scale it up by having 6 people in one room, but somehow connected with the next 6 people in the other room. So at least you could double it like that.
What's the nature of connection?
We've used it. I think Charlotte has a login for OnHangouts.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, what is it called? Hold on. OnHangout?
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll check it out. Thank you.
It may not solve all the problems, but at least it's a candidate.
I'll try and get her information, and I'll just link her in the event here.
Yeah. Maybe we could invite her to come. Maybe we could invite her to come over next week, or next week. Yeah, we could. That could work with Howard. But we could also just set one maybe for 2 weeks or something and do it on the Hangouts platform, which we've tried before, which would allow us to kind of try that out.
Well, and I mean, of course, something like Blackboard Collaborate has those capabilities. The problem with a lot of these things is dropping in, people not being able to sign up, the technology too difficult, not having accounts, blah, blah. Well, it's the same story.
Yeah, Howard used that in some of his courses in Blackboard Collaborate, and it was, it worked well because he had plenty of people who had used it before to help out, but if you get into a scaled version of it, it costs quite a bit.
I didn't even know there was a scaled one because we were using the free one for Howard's.
Yeah, but if you buy it, it's.
I use it for my events, and we can have 100 people, 150 people. It scales to that, but not with live video. So it's still like one person is 2 people are talking, everybody else is chatting in text, and that's the same, the whole broadcast thing over again.
So
I think you should not scale up. I think you should keep small little groups.
Well, that's what you can do in this.
The OnHangouts just basically would be several parallel groups that could, and you could hop in and out. It's meant to be like an unconference or something where you can hop in and out. So imagine each of us came, like for a conference. Like you could bring the Math Circle people, Laura could bring the the open music students could all come and log in. Michelle could bring some people from the Berkman Center in this law group, and maybe they don't all share the same interests, but we could hop from room to room or whatever. So I was gonna think about this because we talked yesterday. We had a really brief meeting yesterday on Sunday about possibly joining something at the Berkman Center where they're teaching like a law workshop. So I was just thinking. I was wondering because we had a number of different people from different areas if we could brainstorm how we might go about creating that collaboration. But it's really too bad Karen's not here because I think she would be the best contact from Peeragogy.
I'll brief her on what we talked about. She's
okay.
So I just created a few sessions, and then you can in the lobby you have your recorded or your you can't record any of these breakout sessions, but you can use things like Screencastify or Camtasia or something to record. But
So
Maybe continuing on this idea of breakout sessions and how do we communicate, one point that I feel might be important if you're giving a class or a course is what aspects needs to be synchronous, that is, you need a sort of Google Hangout. What aspects might be unsynchronous, meaning, for example, just like we're doing with the Berkman Center, we work with a lot of mailing lists where you just have people with all the time just talking, responding to each other via text, but when they have time, whatever the hour, and then we put it all together when we have like meetings and whatever. So there might be a mix of technologies there on how we discuss, and also getting people time to think about the class but still stay involved. Like also a forum is also an idea.
And Howard had tried a lot of those techniques in his classes at Stanford, and you know, I think there's a different motivation there. But you know, he would just kind of see who participated, and I guess they got an A. But you know, and then you know, come to the class with a discussion based on their offline. Out of class discussion.
So yeah, I think for us in the Peeragogy project, I mean, you know, we're now at this interesting point between like just about to roll out version 3. That was the main thing we were working on yesterday. Was like the final publication steps of that. So we're very close, and deciding what we're going to do with version 4. So for anyone who was arriving a little late, like Paolo was talking about, like an opportunity to like present it in Argentina to new people, and you know, we were kind of saying like, where are we going for version 4? And Charlotte had a good point that telling new people where are we going could be confusing if they don't know some of the stuff we've achieved. But I think for those who are here, you know, it's interesting to think about these different, you know, it's like we were asking, could we come up with a case study? Now we've got, you know, maybe 3, right? The math circles, the open music, and the cyber clinic. You know, not all alliterative, but it is cool that we have those different examples. And so, you know, the idea of taking peeragogy in action and finding like how could we kind of not invade, but could we do what my colleague from Greece was saying and like kind of study how it works. Without pushing something on you guys, but like studying how do you do it, because it seems like there's very different models already in place. You know, like CyberLab, and it looks like it's every semester going on forever, practically.
I want to say that just an example of a link. We use improvisation as one of our main metaphors, even though we are in mathematics. But we try to get people to play and to be open, and improvisation is it. So
we do a lot of that here too, I think.
I think we shouldn't name our emergent themes before we try the case studies, but it looks like improvisation may be one of them, just as an example.
Nice. Yeah. So that would be a really, so one of the objectives, and this could be like to put a face to the name. One of the things we considered. So we wrote this book, Peeragogy book. You guys have probably seen it on peeragogy.org, but I don't want to screen share it because there's a visual aid talking about. So we wrote this book. Go ahead, screen share. Yeah. Screen share. Yep. Share. So aside from the fact that the look is very minimal, and we're going to probably make it look a little bit nicer, you see here it's got these different sections, so like patterns, and we've just done a whole lot of work on that. But then there's these other sections that we haven't worked that much on: convening a group, organizing the learning structure, co-facilitating, so like actually doing the work in a way, and assessing the. Well, typically assessing the outcome, although I'm of the opinion that you should do the assessment first and decide what you want to work on. So basically, yeah, convening, organizing. I think this should be called cooperation, and then assessing. So I can almost imagine, like, I don't know who it would be, but like one person kind of leading on those sections, and we could basically rewrite them completely to reflect the realities of what actually goes on. But I think it's good to do some research, and as Maria was saying, like find some emergent themes. So I'm not going to expect like, oh yes, for sure, you can definitely do 6-month commitments and like write a lot of chapters of the handbook. But as a brainstorm, we would love it if you did want to, especially because we've got these different areas. And then the next time people said, oh, peeragogy, what is it? You know, well, we could say, well, here's an example in this area. Oh, you don't like that area? Well, here's one in mathematics. Oh, you don't like mathematics? Okay, well, here's one in music. You gotta like that. And I guess I'm looking at also Paula, who's kind of, how would you describe yourself anyway, Paula? Like, are you a humanities scholar, digital humanities scholar? Because you do kind of everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a strange animal. Yes. Yeah, I belong to the Digital Humanities Network here in Mexico.
Yeah. So, yeah. And your case study of like the stuff you've already done with Wikipedia at your institution, is that continuing this year as well? Well, yeah, it's continuing, but I have stepped back a little bit because I'm working on a project about citizen labs. Whoa.
So
that's a new. It sounds even more close to peeragogy.
Yeah.
What kind of work do they do in the labs?
Well, different. Well, it's going to be a learning lab. We are going to apply that methodology of like cooperative learning in a libraries network, municipal libraries network in Monterrey. So next week I'll be in Madrid in the Media Lab Prado prototyping the lab.
Wow. You'll be in Madrid next week.
Yeah, next week.
Too bad, because I was in Barcelona last week. Like, we could have met up there.
Yeah.
In between. Well, Madrid next week. Can you call in from Madrid? Will you be free on Monday?
Yeah, sure. I can show you the lab, the media lab.
Well,
walk us around like Joe did in.
It's an amazing place. It's really amazing. You really will not believe it.
So that would be a great contribution to the interview with Howard, to be like, here I am reporting live from the Madrid Media Lab, like where I'm working on citizen labs, like, and designing it. Sorry, I can't stay that long because I got to get back to work, but you know, it looks really cool. So.
Will that be in our regular Hangout, that interview?
It should be, I think, yeah, regular schedule.
Okay, I just wanted to give Mark Traphagen the link because I think.
Yeah, we should give everyone who's coming. So feel free to come next time, but be ready to be interviewed briefly.
I can get the actual live link right now if you want me to.
Sure, there's going to be a live link already.
The event is set up, so.
Yeah, the event page link.
I can just start it and then stop it.
Yeah. So yeah, come next week if you want to, and come a little bit like prepared with
elevator speech.
Elevator speech. I didn't want to say that, but I think escalator speech. You know, a little longer than elevator.
But, the hot air balloon speech.
Yeah. No, not that one. Yeah. Okay, well, so we're not at the end. We've got 6 minutes yet, but look here, I'll prove that I'm really in Britain. See how much traveling I'm doing.
Wow.
All over the place.
I lied. I haven't set it up yet, but I will.
Okay. But yeah, I think we should get to the point of like famous closing words for the weekly meetings. So any questions or requests, ideas, criticisms, brainstorms?
I need a deadline for the CARE Educar
deadline for Educar
project.
Yeah.
Paula?
We don't have it. Well, she told us 2 weeks, but I don't know when the 2 weeks end.
Okay, let's make it 1 week then.
Okay. 2 weeks. Yeah, we don't want to like frustrate those people because they're famous. Hey, I have a question. Not to bring it to a it's both serious and kind of religious. So hold on a second. I gotta go get the book so I don't. but it'll be a minute, so other people can weigh in while I'm finding the thing.
Joe, we need a leader. Okay, Michelle, you're it.
Quick, let's talk about unicorns and farming.
Well, one of my authors does fantasy science fiction, and she has unicorn sheep in her books. And she made some stuffed ones to give away at book fairs.
Yeah, I was just discussing something where Transformers have a virtual reality where they play with unicorns. That's why it was on my mind.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. You know, it might just be in some digital time warp, and the real world is Transformers playing with unicorns.
Ah! Okay,
Well,
that's a bit dark. I like dark. Okay, I had this one student, a 5-year-old, who would only do mathematics as long as it was about unicorns.
That's great. So you did geometry and like the angle of the horn and
So
everything.
So I'm back. I guess the conversation has degenerated to geometry, but that's okay. I don't want to interrupt.
What do you mean degenerated?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, we're releasing great beneficial endorphins into our bodies right now.
Okay. Well, it's about to get real sad, especially because it's hard to pronounce it. So, have you guys heard of Martine Barreau?
Barbero.
Martine Barreau, no? Okay, well then it's not so sad. So this Martine Barreau was a Christian, Ignacio Martín Barreau, an influential Jesuit priest and psychologist. Served most of his priesthood in El Salvador until his violent death in 1989. Anyway, he's a big proponent of liberation theology, and so when you were talking about the citizen labs, I'm sorry, I'm not a particularly religious person, but this guy Martín Barreau has written a book. Barreau. See, this is the thing. You might know it. My pronunciation could be so bad that you won't recognize what I'm saying.
Well, how do you spell his name?
It's Martine Barreau, but there's accents on the final syllables of each case. So, anyway, he talks about all of these sort of Christian groups and stuff. Bible circles in Brazil. So this is probably a way to know he's Brazilian. About 1 million Bible circles in Brazil that meet regularly to discuss Scripture from a viewpoint of liberation theology. So, anyway, Paula, I thought you might be interested, but
yes.
Perhaps you're not that interested. Mildly interested. Okay. Well, I'll send you the interest.
Yes.
Yeah, he was in El Salvador. That's the thing. He's just like in Brazil. He was in El Salvador. And I find it very sad because, so they also say here that it's not just, they have 80,000 liberation theology base communities in present-day Brazil, despite the opposition of many current Brazilian bishops. So, again, I mean, I'm not endorsing that, but I'm just thinking, if Peeragogy is in action, if it's probably in action someplace in one of those 80,000 liberation theology circles. So I just learned about that recently. But I thought you would know, so now I can.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really sad that this guy was just like basically a peace-loving Christian, and he was murdered by these horrible guys. So, anyway, the Salvadorian army. Ooh. Okay, well there we go. Any other any other things people want to share? We had unicorns and murder.
Well, let's all be kind to each other and choose love.
Okay, that's right. I would go for unicorn.
Unconditional love.
Unconditionally choose the unicorn. So
make jazz, not war.
Make jazz, not war. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get to say goodbye to Laura, but she would appreciate that. Maybe she'll watch the video part. Yeah, and Michelle, we didn't get to talk a whole lot about the Cyber Law Clinic, but I remember you said you could put us in touch with the people who are running it, so we would love that.
Yep, I have some contacts there. They'll be busy like the next couple of weeks, but I'll eventually get there.
Okay, yeah, I imagine they're probably busy every week. So it's like we were saying, we've got a 2-week deadline. We're just not sure which 2 weeks. So anyway, okay. Well, I have a big red button. I can stop the broadcast anytime. I think I'm going to do that now.
Yeah, do that.